Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today I wanted to talk about something a little bit more unusual. Very recently, when I checked my email, I discovered an unusual message. A message from a person by the name of Dr. Bakare Tunde. And he had a very interesting story to tell me, and so I actually thought that maybe we as a community can kind of help him. And so let me tell you what the message is about, but also if you'd like to support this person, click on the link in the description below. So without further ado, here's what the message is all about. Dear Mr. Sir, request for assistance strictly confidential. I am Dr. Bakare Tunde, the cousin of Nigerian astronaut Air Force Major Abaha Tunde. He was the first African in space when he made a secret flight to the Salyut 6 space station in 1979. He was on a later Soviet spaceflight, Soyuz T-16Z, to the secret Soviet military space station Salyut 8T. This was in 1989, he was stranded there in 1990 when the Soviet Union was dissolved. His other Soviet crew members returned to Earth on the Soyuz T-16Z, but his place was taken up by return cargo. There have been occasional supply flights to keep him going since that time. He is in good condition but wants to come home. In the 14 years since he has been on the station, he has accumulated flight pay and interest amounting to almost 15 million American dollars. This is held in a trust in the Lagos National Savings and Trust Association. If we can obtain access to this money, we can place a down payment with the Russian space authorities for a Soyuz return flight to bring him back to Earth. I am told this will cost 3 million American dollars. In order to access the trust, we need your assistance. Consequently, my colleagues and I are willing to transfer the total amount to your account or subsequent disbursement, since we as civil servants are prohibited by the Code of Conduct Bureau from opening and or operating foreign accounts in our names. Needless to say, the trust reposed on you at this juncture is enormous. In return, we have agreed to offer you 20% of the transferred sum, while 10% shall be set aside for incidental expenses, internal and external, between the parties in the course of transaction. You will be mandated to remit the balance 70% to other accounts in due course. Kindly expedite action as we are behind schedule. To enable us, include down payment in this financial quarter. Please acknowledge the receipt of this message via my direct number, and the phone number is included in the email. Yours sincerely, Dr. Bakare Tunde, Astronautics Project Manager at National Space Research and Development Agency in Nigeria. So, as you can see, it's a pretty interesting message and very interesting proposition. Now, I think we as a community can definitely help him and collect enough funds to help return this stranded astronaut that has unfortunately been stuck in space for 14 years. That is a really long time to be in space. I also think that this astronaut may have already received a really high dose of radiation, which means that we probably will have to support his medical costs as well. And the thing is, even though it does sound completely made up and sort of as an incredible, unrealistic story, you might be familiar with Sergei Krikalev already, but when the Soviet Union fell apart, he too was stuck in space for approximately 803 days. Now this is because back then Soviet Union just didn't have any money to return him back, and it took a while before they came up with all of the funds to launch another rocket. So having another astronaut being stuck in space is not really that far-fetched. But even though technically Soyuz rockets used to be the cheapest way of launching astronauts back in the days, today we know that this record is about to be beat by SpaceX. They're going to be launching a manned capsule that's going to make it much cheaper to launch people to space and obviously return them from there as well. So maybe the next person we should be contacting about all of this is Elon Musk. He might be able to help us bring this Nigerian astronaut back after all. But anyway, whether with Elon Musk's help or not, we can definitely do this. Either way, if you'd like to help this astronaut return back to Earth, or if you'd like to learn more about this, click on the link in the description below and let's see how far we can get this. And let's see if we as a community can make this happen. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for watching. I'll make sure to follow this up with another video later on describing how all of this went. Subscribe, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, and see you tomorrow. Space out, and as always, bye bye. Did you click on it? Did you click on it? April Fools.